The air around the small town of Alton Hollow had long been thick with an unsettling heaviness, a sense of unnameable dread that permeated the fabric of daily life. It was elusive, like a faint whisper of distress, that sounded in the streets like an unwelcome fog, obscuring the familiar outlines of old houses and the noble oak trees standing sentinel in the park, shining upon the land, casting elongated shadows that twisted and contorted in a manner that felt almost sentient. It was as if the world itself was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. Evelyn, a local archivist with an affinity for the arcane, sensed this unease more acutely than most. Perhaps it stemmed from the relentless winter, the way the persistent snow blanketed the ground like an oppressive shroud. Or maybe it was the increasingly bizarre behavior of the townsfolk. Lately, conversations had become strange, laughter echoing with an odd tone, as if submerged beneath water. What was once open exchange now bore a sharp edge, as unspoken fears resurfaced with each passing moment. What lurked behind their nervous smiles? Was there a thread of something ancient weaving through their thoughts? It wasn't until a fateful day when Evelyn stumbled upon a battered old tome hidden deep within the library's damp basement that the whispers transformed into tangible terror. The book, with its leathery cover, radiated a chill that sank deep into her bones. Its pages were thick and yellowed, filled with scrivenings of forgotten knowledge, tales of otherworldly beings lurking in the void, the silence of stars concealing their sinister intents. As she meticulously copied passages on a frigid evening, one particular warning gnawed at her mind. When the stars align, the seekers shall arise, birthed from despair and darkness. In the days that followed, Evelyn's grasp on reality began to unravel. Shadows no longer flickered away. Instead, they danced, moving just out of sight. Each night stretched into an eternity as nightmares invaded her dreams. Visions of cerulean light spilling from yawning voids, and whispers echoing of entities embodying human fears. Paranoia began to take root deep within her, weaving its tendrils through her thoughts until she could hardly separate reality from illusion. And then the townsfolk unmistakably began to change. Conversations were reduced to hushed murmurs and half-completed sentences, their eyes darting nervously as if prey to unseen predators. Some residents simply vanished, leaving not a single trace or explanation for their disappearance. Each morning, Evelyn would discover another sign of their absence: a discarded shoe, an overturned chair, the lingering scent of sulfur that seemed to taint the very air. It all culminated in a fateful gathering at the aging town hall, where voices trembled with an urgency that made the air electric. "We should keep to our homes," they whispered, their faces pale and flickering under the wavering light. "It's not safe outside." Resolute in her determination to confront the source of dread permeating Alton Hollow, Evelyn ventured into the desolate night. Beneath a starlit sky that she now recognized had shifted, she felt the ground pulse beneath her feet, a rhythmic thrum vibrating through the earth and into her very soul. The light above seemed to warp, twisting into dizzying patterns that ignited something primal within her. She was acutely aware that she was not alone. Drawn by an unseen force, she found herself at the edge of the lake, its surface reflecting disturbing shapes, faces she thought she recognized, but distorted into grotesque visages. Suddenly, a crash disrupted her thoughts, a surge of light erupting from the depths of the water, illuminating the darkness with an unholy glow. The light spoke without uttering a single word, a resonant hum that sank deep into her bones, calling her closer, tantalizing her with promises of forbidden knowledge. In that electrifying moment, her mind began to unravel. The people she cherished, their laughter, their little idiosyncrasies, seemed like mere caricatures, fragile shadows overshadowed by the enormity enveloping her, crushed under the weight of existence's cruel paradox. They had forgotten the hidden truths imprisoned in their own banal lives. As she stood at the precipice of understanding, gazing into what lay beyond the veil of ordinary perception, Evelyn realized the cosmic truths eluded humanity, distorted and twisted through a prism of insanity. The light flickered, and relinquishing her grip on sanity, she became one with the darkness. Alton Hollow faded away, and the universe stretched infinitely, an insatiable void yawning before her. The eternal shadows drew her downwards, but within that abyss, she felt, perhaps for the first time, the intoxicating promise of existence beyond existence. And somewhere deep within, a low hum echoed, something awakening, something hungry, something that smiled with countless eyes in the vast expanse of night.